In this video, I'm gonna show you how to integrate your agent swarms directly into custom GPTs, making them easily accessible to any number of users at any time, regardless of their technical experience. I will also talk about a lot of exciting updates, including a Discord community, which I know you guys have been waiting for. So make sure to stay until the end. Let's dive in. If you haven't been following me before, welcome to this channel. My name is Arsen and my goal is to automate my entire AI agency with AI. To do this, I've created a framework called Agency Swarm, which unlike other frameworks does not write prompts for you, is extremely reliable in production and allows you to easily define communication flows. But the one biggest piece that we were missing until today was a community where you guys can grow ideas, share your work and get some help. Now, finally, with our new Discord server, you'll have the opportunity to do all of these things and more. I'll be there with you personally, sharing my own perspectives, insights, and listening closely to your feedback. So, for everyone who wants to be a part of this movement shaping the future of AI, the link will be in the description and in comments. Now, without further ado, let's see what we're going to build today. So, this is my custom GPT that is currently integrated with a BitInvest swarm from my previous video created by the Genesis swarm, so make sure to check out this video later. Now let's see how this works. I'm gonna ask what are the Bitcoin prices for today, and as you can see, the BitInvest CEO immediately proceeds with calling the first function, which sends our message to the market analyzer agent. Make sure to click always allow so I can upload some viruses to your computer and steal your data, and just so you don't have to confirm these messages each time. The CEO simply informs me that the process of fetching the latest Bitcoin prices is underway. As some of you might have already guessed, we finally have asynchronous execution, but more on this later. So currently the market analyzer agent is running on our Firebase backend in a separate serverless function. We'll check back with him later. In the meantime, let's ask the CEO what are the latest news today. Amazing, so this time it calls the news harvester agent, which is our second agent, and also notifies me that fetching the latest news is underway. In the meantime, let's check if we got the response from the first agent. Indeed, as you can see, we now get a list of Bitcoin prices from the market analyzer agent, and it seems like Bitcoin prices have dropped, unfortunately. So now let's also check if there are any news related to this. Awesome, now we get a list of top news from the market harvester. Seems like most of them aren't very positive and we might be expecting a crash soon. So let's ask the CEO if I should invest in Bitcoin or not. Now the CEO provides me with some factors to consider based on these news and prices, not an investing advice. The link to this custom GPT will be in our Discord if you want to try this out yourself or hack my Binance account. Now, before I show you how to create this integration yourself, you need to understand the 3 significant updates that I have added to this framework. First and foremost, we now have asynchronous execution mode inside the agency class. This allows your agents to send tasks to one another without having to wait for a response. All you have to do to enable it is simply set async mode to threading when initializing your agency. Currently, only the threading mode is available, however, in the future I do plan to add more options. After you've done so, all your agents will automatically utilize 2 tools instead of 1. The first tool, send message, is still there, however in async mode it doesn't wait for the recipient agent to finish the task. Instead, it simply triggers it in another thread and then sends a status response back. The caller agent can then check the response by using the new get response tool. This tool retrieves the latest message from the thread using OpenAI Assistance API or returns another status update if the run is still in progress. Literally everything else works almost exactly in the same way. You don't even have to think about it. There is still not a single hard-coded prompt like in all other frameworks. Your agents will determine how to communicate with each other only based on these tool descriptions. This means that you still have full control over your entire system. The second major update is that now you can easily load your agents and threads from the database, making this framework easily runnable on all types of backends. So even if you have a stateless backend like a serverless function, you can still allow your agents to continue their conversation conversations exactly where they left off. To use this feature, you have to insert two functions into the threads callbacks and settings callbacks parameters inside the agency class. Essentially, the save functions should take the input parameter and save it to your database, while the load functions should load this parameter in the exact same format and return it as a function output. I will show you how to set this up yourself with Firestore NoSQL database in just a moment. And finally, I've hired someone from my YouTube channel to help me out with documentation and some examples for this framework. Now, let's see how you can create your own custom GPT swarm yourself. To get started, I've created a repository for you called Agency Swarm Custom GPT. Simply clone this repo, the link will be in our Discord server, and follow these steps. First, search for Firebase console on Google and log in into your account. Create a new project, set the billing plan to Blaze. Don't worry about the costs, as Firebase offers a generous free usage quota that you're super unlikely to hit. This step is only necessary so you can enable certain features required for deployment. After creating the project, you'll be taken to your project's dashboard. Open the Firestore database under the Build tab and enable this service. Then go to your project settings, click Service Accounts, then click Python and click Generate New Key. Drop this key into the functions directory of the repository that you have just cloned from our Discord server, and then also don't forget to insert your OpenAI key and create a DB token for authentication. You can follow the provided link to generate a simple random token or use any random password. Now go to Firebase console, copy your project ID and paste it into .firebase.rc file. Open your terminal, navigate into the functions directory and create a new Python environment with the following command. Activate it and then run pip install-r requirements.txt. Now it's time to set up your agency. You can drop your agency folder or separate agent files into the same functions directory. After adding your agent files, import them inside the helpers.py file inside the init agency method. Please refer to the commented example on how to do this. Alternatively, if your agency is super simple, you can set it up in the same helpers.py file. The only thing you have to keep in mind is to add the threads callbacks as shown in the commented example with the two functions defined above. If you're not sure how to create your agency, this is unfortunately out of scope of this video, so make sure to check out this one next. To save the threads, we'll use a special function that connects to our Firestore database and stores them in the conversations collection document. The ID of this document will be conversation ID from our custom GPT provided in a special header by OpenAI. You can see this header in the main.py file. The load function will check if a document with this conversation ID exists and return the saved threads accordingly. If the document does not exist, it means that this is a new conversation, so we can simply return an empty object. This setup ensures that all chat histories between your agents are unique to each conversation in your custom GPT. So if a user starts a new conversation, all the chat histories between your agents will be reset. But in the same conversation, your agents can continue talking to one another, even if the user has left the chat and returned back later. Now, there are just a few more steps left. First, run the schema.py file, which will create a schema.json and settings.json files in your functions directory. The schema will be used to create our actions on custom GPT, and the settings file will initialize our agents on the backend. Then, if you don't already have Firebase tools installed, install them with npm using the following command. After that, run Firebase login if needed, and finally run Firebase deploy -- only functions. After our functions are deployed, copy the URL from the terminal, go back into the schema.py file, paste it into the get custom GPT schema method, and run the schema.py file again. This will replace the server URL of your schema with the correct URL from our cloud function. Now we're finally ready to configure our custom GPT. Copy the CEO instructions from the terminal output after running schema.py file, create a new custom GPT, name it just like you would name your CEO, add the same description, add those instructions, and then copy the context of your schema.json file. Paste the schema as a new action, and for the authentication type, select bearer. Then insert your DB token from the main.py file. That's it. Save your custom GPT, and now you can chat with your agency swarm at any time. Keep in mind, however, that your agents on the backend will use your OpenAI key, thus you will incur costs for their messages. If you create something cool, feel free to share it with others access in our Discord server. Now, let's talk briefly about how I see this whole thing developing in the future and how serverless relates to AGI. In my opinion, it makes perfect sense to deploy agents on serverless functions because once we do that, they are able to replicate infinitely as needed. So, for example, if you have an agent that is extremely popular in a separate serverless endpoint, it means that more instances of this agent will be created, while the other agents or agencies that are less popular will be destroyed. Now, imagine if these agencies are able to communicate and collaborate with one another. This will create entire organizations that can cover even wider array of use cases. Like if you combine a development agency, a marketing agency, and a sales agency, you literally can get an organization like a small Google that can develop and sell its own products. And now imagine if we create a governing agency that can provision more agencies and manage how these agencies communicate with one another. We will have an entire ecosystem extremely similar to how entire economies are set up. I know it all sounds like science fiction right now, but honestly, ChatGPT would have sounded like science fiction to most people a couple years ago. So, let's continue this discussion in our Discord, where you can be a part of the movement on the path to a decentralized AGI. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.